Well, hello, and welcome to After the Show. I'm your host, Crystal Vilkaitis, and this week's episode was a special one because I got to sit down in person with Brian and Anthony at American Dream in New Jersey, the second largest mall in America. If you haven't watched that video yet or listened to the episode, I encourage you to do so. It was really fun chatting with those guys, and they're just doing really incredibly inspiring things, if that even makes sense, incredibly inspiring things that I just felt so excited for this episode to release and to do it. And I can't wait to go back and film again. I think we're going to do another recording at some point. So that was super fun, but I definitely had a lot of takeaways. I hope you did too. And specifically what I wanted to talk about in this video was one, the power of just getting into a new environment. I had that opportunity to do a 4-hour behind the scenes tour of American Dream, and I felt so inspired. Like, if you get the opportunity to do store tours, like, look it up. There's store tours that are happening all over the country. I'm newer to them. In fact, we are going to do a store tour in New York City. Details aren't finalized yet, but sneak peek, like, stay tuned. That's going to be happening with a really awesome guest who's going to lead those store tours, and I'll be there. But I mean, just getting out there and look, you don't even have to do something that is formal for a store tour. You can just get out there and visit a different town, visit a new location, put yourself in a new environment. I just can't say this enough. It brings us such inspiration and new ideas, and it just helps us solve problems. Like, I've said this a lot over the years. Dustin and I, when we lived in California, we had passes to Disney World or Disneyland, and we only lived about an hour away. And so we both worked from home. So what we would do is often we would be like, okay, let's get all of our work done. And then around noon 1, let's go to Disneyland and just play the rest of the day. And when we put ourselves in that new environment, often I got better ideas, like challenges I was trying to work through, I would get the answers for. It's just so important. Plus you get that inspiration. So I think you should go shop other stores. It doesn't have to be in your same category, but I think it should. I mean, I would look at different stores, the same as you, different towns. You know, you can even get some of that inspiration off of YouTube without traveling anywhere. But I was going through all my store tour notes just yesterday because I'm pulling all my content together for my Evolve conference. And man, I just had so many notes, like so much inspiration. And if I had a store, I mean, that's just like fuel. It's like you are just going to school almost, like you're going to school to learn and get inspired. So that's one of the things I wanted to say, a big takeaway from this whole experience with filming with American Dream is put yourself into a new environment, do store tours, and get out there. The other thing is, American Dream is doing such cool things from an experience perspective and an attractions perspective. And for our small business owners, you're not going to go and have a Ferris wheel put outside your building. Maybe you will, but most likely you won't. And so I think it's still smart for you to ask those questions and really know, like, what kind of store experience can I be creating? So I'm not just a place where people buy products. And look, I think that in certain cases, and depending on your goals and your store type and what you're trying to do, maybe you want to just be a place that sells products and that's it. But I tend to find a lot of our listeners of this show really are connected to the community, really love their customers, really are building something special, really care about loyalty. And because it's so hard for you to compete on price or convenience, like quick shipping, free shipping, lowest price, the experience aspect is so critical. And that's why we talk about it so much on the show. I wanted to give you some fun, super easy things that you can do in your store to create a great experience. And I've got some fun personal stories that I'll share with this as well, because these ideas are so easy, but they can be incredibly memorable to your customer. And that's what I think is really important. We are providing a place for them to hang out, for them to dwell. We want to increase dwell time. Like, for example, American Dream average dwell time is about 120 minutes, is about 2 hours. Now, obviously, they've got multiple stores and there's attractions, things that are going on versus a one store location. But I believe the average for a mall is about an hour dwell time. So like they've doubled the dwell time. which is a pretty big deal. So we want to create a place where people want to hang out. They want to be, they want to spend their time, and we want to create memories so that when they think about a moment or a time or an event or a product or something that they did, they think of your store. And so I've got 5 very easy things that you could do. And one thing that's not on my list here, but I just want to point out the fact that at American Dream, they talk about in this episode how they have the buttons. Ask me about fill in the blank. That is something that you could so do that's engaging. It's not even an experience, but it's engaging, that can create a conversation and can create a memorable conversation. So these are about really being memorable, connecting deeper, but making it so easy for you to do. So the first thing, this is something that like I would so be game for. And obviously, as you're listening to all these ideas, we're thinking of our perfect customer. What would work for them? Maybe some of these ideas just wouldn't work for them. But one idea is having a themed party, like an 80s night. You could dress as your favorite movie. It could be like Wizard of Oz party. You could do a pajama party I've seen before with retailers, but having a theme is so fun. We do this with our friends Christina Graciano, who has a photography studio in downtown Loveland. We will turn it into a karaoke room, and we've done themes like 90s night was super fun. But this makes me really think of back during COVID. I have the best group of girlfriends. I really have just like the best group of friends anyone could ever ask for. And this was during the lockdowns. And so none of us were getting together. We lived in California at this time. And we have 4 girlfriends. There's a total of 5 of us. Like we would always get together for people's birthdays and try to do like monthly or every other month dinners or something together, even just getting together at somebody's house. Well, that wasn't happening during COVID. So we did Zoom parties like so many people did, but we always had themes. So instead of us just signing on, we had really fun themes. I have some very funny photos from those, and I should ask the girls if it's okay if I share them. We did an 80s theme. I had really fun makeup and, funky hair. The funny video, or maybe it's scary video/photo, is we did Tiger King as the theme, because if you remember, Tiger Theme was really popular on Netflix. So we all had to dress as a character, and it was hilarious. I dressed as like the bald toothless guy, and I like blacked out a tooth, and I put something over my head so I looked bald, and then I had Dustin draw tattoos on me. I look so ugly. It's like the ugliest I think I've ever looked. Hence why I haven't posted these. But man, like it's so memorable. I can look back at these really uncertain times and think of the times when I connected with my girlfriends. We just had a lot of fun dressing up. I just think that as we become adults, we don't have as much fun like that. Like kids have all their dress up parties and their themes and all the fun stuff that they do at school. Just because we're adults, why can't we do that too? So I think doing themed nights, like if there was a local 90s or 80s party happening at one of the boutiques here or one of the pet stores or whatever, that would be super fun to attend. And it's super memorable. So think of those ways that you can be memorable. The next, I think this is so easy. Roll the dice at checkout. So this is where, if you could have like just simple game dice, you could have like a really big fun die, and maybe they get like whatever it lands on, they'll get a free gift or they'll get a free discount or something like that. We actually did this when we were at the Vegas Market Center. They had a whole like roll the dice, see what kind of gift you get. And we got a little bag from them, like a zip up kind of tote for just rolling the dice. It was like engaging. It was fun. And it could be exciting. I just think that those are so easy to implement, and it's just very engaging. I think especially if you've got a kid aspect, or there's like a mom or dad with a child, that could be really fun for them. And it could be like you're winning a sticker, like it could be a very easy thing, an easy giveaway, but maybe they have to be at checkout. Like they have to purchase something and then they get to roll the dice. Then, what about a secret handshake? I just think that would be really fun. And you would only promote it, like you only talk about it on social media, or you've only sent it to your email list, like some secret thing that you got, if you know, And you could even be saying that, like you could even have in-store signage that says, if you know, you know, because then people are going to be like, what do I need to know? Right? Like they're going to ask about it. And then you'll be like, well, you got to follow us on Instagram and look for the clues or look for the secret, something like that. Or what if you even had like I love speakeasies. I'm such a sucker for that. And like having the code to get in. That kind of content also goes viral on social media, especially TikTok. Like, for example, speakeasies in Vegas is like going so viral right now on TikTok. So what if you had a speakeasy, like a little separate area, like in your back room, but you could kind of like portion it off to be this secret place of like unique, different inventory. Maybe it's totally different than what you sell now, or maybe it's like just so unique or really high end, or I don't know, like maybe you could get a drink back there or a cup of coffee or tea. I don't know, but like that would be so fun and that would go viral. So I just think there's an opportunity to have like this insiders club where if you know, it could be a handshake. It could be a certain high five. If people are coming in today only, you give us a high five, you're going to save $5 to $50, like just depends. I don't know. I think we could have some fun with it, right? Like that's engaging. People really like that. Makes it so fun. Also, doing like a retail bingo. The reason I chose this option as I was doing some research for like very easy, but fun, engaging things. Cause that's the thing. American Dream, you could tell Anthony's in charge of fun. They have fun there. So how can we have fun in our retail stores, but not, have big attractions for it or small attractions for it? And so this bingo idea, I think is really fun where this could vary. Like if you could have it be based on purchases, if they are purchased something online or in store or a blend of both. It could be if they follow you on Instagram, if they find a certain product in your store. It could be related to something like they bought something from like yellow or green. St. Patty's actually will have just come as this episode came out. But, like you could design this card and give it out to customers. And maybe it's a week-long thing. Maybe it's a month-long thing. And they have to like stamp off their bingo. I think that would be really fun. And for people like me who love games, that's just so engaging. I chose this idea because when I went to Dallas, the group of girls where we connected through, and we had our theme Zoom parties over COVID, all of us went out to Dallas to go visit one of our friends who's living out there, Robin. And Robin actually used to be on my team. She was our copywriter. And if you've been to Evolve Year One, you would have met her. And just such an amazing person. And so she picks us all up at the airport and has these bingo cards for us. And so as we're driving in the car, if we would see like a cow, if we would see a Baptist church, if we would see the Texas flag, there were all these things a steakhouse, and whoever got the first bingo, Robin had a prize for that person. I think it was like a bottle of wine and like a cool Texas thing, like a Texas star or something. It made that trip so much more engaging. Like it made the car ride so fun because you're looking and then everybody's like wondering, did they see? I saw that. I'm not going to mention it. I was just in Dallas last week, I think. Yeah, last week. And I drive down, I'm in my Uber and I think about that game because anytime I see something from that, there was a Texas star in there. Anytime I see things, or I'll be like, oh, that would have been a good one for the bingo card. It is so memorable to that experience. And so how you could even do like a town bingo where they've got to go around and find things. Maybe this is a one-night event, but I see a lot of opportunity in gamifying the retail experience, and bingo could be a really fun way to do it. So there you go. Oh, another idea with the bingo too, like it could be things, maybe they have this bingo card for a while. So visited us 3 times in a month. They tried on 3 things. Like how could you maybe gamify it to get them engaging with the content and your store and with your products? Finally, a photo booth wall, I just think there's so much potential. This doesn't have to be really hard. And a lot of people love it. They love if it's cute enough, like if it's fun enough, especially the Gen Zs, younger audiences love a good selfie station, love a good photo wall with the sign up above and the backdrop and cute little like pictures that they can take. People love it. You could have props. And it makes me think of when I was at American Dream. They have a tilt museum where these sidewalk chalk artists go in, or actually it might just be one artist, goes in and does these what's called tilt. It looks 3D, but it's just on the floor. Like you're walking on the floor, but you feel like you're falling off of a ledge because of how it's drawn. Like it's just really incredible. And then in tilt, you have these places where you stand. It will show you, it's a marker on the floor. And then you take a picture with your camera, or you have somebody take it with you. Well, yeah, somebody has to take your picture. So you can't do it selfie style. So you stand in the picture, they stand on the marker, take a picture of you, and it looks all 3D, like it comes to life. I put some of this on my personal Instagram. There was a French bulldog like eating me. It was so fun. But then I tagged Tilt, and then Tilt reshared it. And so I'm promoting Tilt. So this is where it's fun for your audience, but they promote you because they're going to tag you. And then people love when you share them. So let them be a viral sales soldier for you. Create fun moments in your store. Just have so much fun with it. How can you surprise and delight your customers, even if it's as easy as a secret handshake or a button that says, ask me about blank? Implement it. Let me know what you decide to do. I would love to hear from you. And as always, I'm rooting for your success. Have a great week ahead. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Rooted in Retail podcast. It means the world to me to have you here. If you find value in this show and you listen on an iPhone, if you could leave a review on the Apple Podcast app, that would be amazing. And if you watch YouTube, if you're a YouTube subscriber, we film this. And so if you rather watch the show, you can also do that over on YouTube. Again, thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode.